Hey guys, Maverick here, and right now we're going to be watching Vinland Saga episode 17. So, where last left off last episode, we see Askeladd get himself into quite the pickle, right? His men are turning against him, his luck has supposedly run out, and he's making some questionable decisions, although of course he has his reasons. He's not really doing a good job of conveying them to his men, right? And to make matters worse, Fort Kel is literally right on his doorstep. So, what exactly is he going to do to get out of this situation, right? Let's just get into the episode and find out together. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. First of all, he needs to... Well, he is already surrounded by his own men. So let's see how he handles that part first. I think it's only going to be the 4 or 5 of them escaping together, right? Askeladd and Bjorn and Thorfinn, Canute, and the priest. Yep. I mean, you can't literally just... Hmm. How is he gonna get himself out of the situation? And of course, the opening. I'll be skipping this as usual. I'll see you guys in a second. Alright, back. I've mentioned this before. If you guys prefer me to just keep it in, muted, then I will do so. Right. Is this like flashback right now? Ah, that's Askeladd's mom, right? And that's Askeladd? In the legends. Really? Till he one day returns. Leads the men against the invaders. Yeah. Huh. Serve the king. Alright. So it was his mother's dying wish for him to become sort of the right-hand man to the king. Really? He's gonna appeal to their emotions instead? I think you're all idiots. Despise you all. Of course. Damn. Then again, he is the best fighter out of all of them. Nice. Oh, they literally just brute force it. Alright. Is he literally going to stay here and fight them all? Or is he actually going to die here? No, that's him. Oh, it would definitely be easier to catch up to them on just horseback, right? He's kind of in a pickle himself, you know. But what are you gonna do, though? uh, really? Ooh. Poor horsey. Wait, It's going back for Askeladd? There's still Yorn. Alright. Now I gotta fight against him. Berserker. Hmm. Okay. Oh. Damn. Holy shit, this dude. Ugh. Okay, this is absolutely ridiculous, accuracy-wise, but still. Wasn't that why you guys fell in first place? Ah. How are you gonna get out of this? Is he literally going to die the same way? Toward it? This is just a ploy to delay them until Forkel comes, right? He's got a point here. Like, what does he see in Canute right now? So he really did. He really did see something in him? Yeah, they don't know. Really? Ah, Forkel and the rest are here. Hmm. Now this is awkward. Hmm. Ah, wow. I thought they didn't take prisoners. Okay, how is he gonna be killed? 。 This guy is so twisted. I do kind of wonder why Twerkal left Askeladd alive. Did he instinctively know that he was a little bit different from these other guys? Or is it because he actually still held on to his weapon? He fainted? Dorothy. Even Askeladd's like, why are you back here? What is with this dude? This is ridiculous. That just plays right into him. There's definitely some dark humor, with all of these corpses around, and then these two doing this in the middle of the battlefield. Uh, well, at least we get our long anticipated rematch between those two. I'll see you guys in a sec. Alrighty, that was an action-packed episode, right? And honestly, out of everything that that could have happened, I definitely was least expecting Askeladd to just use pure brute force to go against this sort of situation, right? I mean, it's not that hard to envision this. He did, after all, go sort of toe to toe with Fours before. We know that he is a very capable fighter and definitely the strongest here out of all of them. It's just that, as they say, he normally likes to avoid these pointless fights, right? So I definitely didn't expect him to just, just rely on his pure fighting skill to get himself out of the situation, which I think that is his plan all along. That was his plan all along. He just simply wasn't counting on getting old, right? So probably in his younger days, he was able to get out of this kind of situation relatively unscathed, with little effort. Now, and that was probably part of his plan, right? Just let them go first, and then hold off the remaining people, and then find an opening to escape as well. But he was overestimating himself, right? He was getting reckless. Really, as was mentioned here, why is he suddenly betting everything on Canute, right? Why is he suddenly acting so rash? It's really unlike his character, and that's why I was caught off guard by what he decided to do here as well, right? And so we see this flashback. So, his mom and whatnot, sort of, I was thinking, like, why does Askeladd suddenly want to do these kind of things, right? And we do see him have another, we do see his reasoning a few episodes ago as well, where he wants to install a king that's going to be friendly to the Welsh, but now it's revealed that his mom also wants him to, not be the king himself, but be the one beside the king and help the king to lead the Romans back to their former glory, right? And so that's probably also part of the reason why it seems Askeladd himself doesn't really have any ambition to become one of the great leaders, right? Or a great leader. He doesn't really want to vie for this sort of, actual, the absolute power, the top power, right? Probably part of it is that he also understands that he's not cut out to be this kind of character. Another part would probably be because of the words imparted to him by his mom. So the real question here, however, is still why the sudden urgency, right? Yeah, he mentioned about it, him growing older and whatnot, but like, is there anything specifically that triggered it? Like, out of all the people that he's seen so far, was Canute really the best bet that he could see so far, in terms of all these situations, in terms of his character, in terms of the actual situation and whatnot? Because he said himself, right, he prides himself on reading people. So I'm still really puzzled as to whether or not he actually sees something in Canute that made him want to put all his, put down all his chips right on this bet. and especially at this kind of time, right? It's not like he suddenly encountered some kind of situation that reminded him that he was getting old, right? So I'm not quite sure about that entire sequence there. So I think the easiest explanation would still be that he sees something in Canute, right? And when talking about this, there's actually another thought process that I'm going over, because his mom really wants him to be the sort of right hand man to King Offa, right? He wants to someone who can lead the Romans back to their former glory and whatnot. However, the person that he's saving right now is actually going to become the king of the Danes and the English, right? So that's kind of in a sort of sense, he's helping the opposition here. He's not really going to be able to stay in his court and help him, because that's not what he wants. He wants to return to his homeland. He wants to help the Welsh, right? So the thing that I'm thinking here is maybe what he actually sees in Canute isn't necessarily that of being a great leader or a strong warrior or whatnot, but because he recognizes his qualities of compassion and so on and so forth, and that is why he's trying to place his bets on him. Maybe he believes that with this kind of king as a character, it can guarantee the peace of the Welsh as well. That's my thinking so far as to how Askeladd might be perceiving this whole thing, right? Otherwise, I don't really see a sense of him, waiting for some, because if you think about it, right, he's not really going to want to stay in this Danish king's court for that long. It's not his primary objective here. So what does it matter if he instead wanted to help some other people that he's seen before? He's lived quite a long time, right? There's been numerous great kings that have been here throughout history already. So why Canute specifically? Perhaps because he needs to find a king or a next in line that has his sort of personality trait, and that is why Askeladd jumped into action here. So that's just my take on this situation. So yeah, now we got the rematch, Thorfinn and Thorkell. We do actually see a hint of that from the opening as well. We see them fighting each other. So the thing here, though, is that all of the characters currently, even Askeladd to a certain extent, they view the duels very seriously, right? They take it very seriously. So I think they are going to be actually fighting it a legit battle, right? And if Thorfinn wins, then Askeladd and Thorfinn can leave. If not, well, Thorfinn would probably be killed, right? And of course, in the context of the stories, and Thorfinn is one of the main characters, he's probably not going to be killed. Now, if it wasn't for this, I would have think it made much more sense to maybe let Askeladd use this time to sort of generate another distraction, and then they can run away. But considering his leg right now, I don't think that's really feasible either. So it's probably going to be a case where they actually duke it out, and then Thorfinn actually wins in a certain way, right? Although not necessarily a battle to the death. I don't think that's the case anyway, since Thorkell promised him that if he wins, he's going to allow them to go. You don't really need to promise that if you are going to be killed in the process, right? So yeah, there we go. And that's pretty much it for this episode. Not really much to talk about historically here. Definitely the fights are ridiculous, but that's, when there are ridiculous characters, that can't be helped, right? At the very least, it didn't show Askeladd actually outrunning arrows, right? That would be actually, it's hard to say if that would be more ridiculous than what other characters have done till now, such as Thorkell, hurling literally a wooden pole, like I don't know how many hundreds of meters, and then piercing 3 people with it, right? That is already ridiculous. And I don't know, maybe outrunning arrows wouldn't even touch on the ridiculousness of Thorkell, but at least they still kept that part, right? And well, it's a fantasy anime, right? You gotta have these things in there to make things interesting. So yeah, I think that's about it. Bjorn, what I'm thinking is Bjorn is probably going to take care of the guys near Canute. He's going to still be able to save Canute and the priest. Thorfinn is probably going to win against Thorkel through some sort of manner, and then they're going to be allowed to leave, right? So, yeah, there we go. That's my prediction for next episode. I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.